In September 1980, a Sunday feature story appeared on the front page of a newspaper in which the reporter wrote a profile of the life of an 8-year-old heroin addict. The reporter was awarded the Pulitzer Prize for feature writing in 1981. Then the story was found to be a complete fabrication, and the Pulitzer was returned. In June 2018, over 400 employees of the same news publication signed an open letter to the new boss demanding fair wages, fair benefits for retirement, family leave and health care, and a fair amount of job security. It was duly rejected. In 2019, Covington Catholic High School student Nick Sandman filed a defamation lawsuit against the same newspaper, alleging that it had libeled him in 7 articles regarding the January 2019 Lincoln Memorial confrontation between Covington students and the Indigenous Peoples March. The newspaper was forced to settle. So we are talking about a news publication house that doesn't pay its employees well while keeping the top brass happy, fabricates and concocts news on an alarming rate, and paints a world of liberal utopia. We are talking about the Washington Post. Hi and welcome. This is TFI Global, the foreign affairs and geopolitical analysis arm of the TFI Media Group. And I'm Atul Mishra, the founder of the TFI Media Group. In this video, I will tell you about the world of deceit, lies, and insincere journalism of the Washington Post and its fight against former US President Donald Trump. The American mainstream media, which is known to have a thing for the anarchical leftist ideology, has now been exposed as a coterie of Democrat cheerleaders who are willing to go to any extent in order to vilify the Republicans and slander their leader, former President Donald Trump. To the same effect, it has now come to light that the far-left publication Washington Post lied through its teeth 2 months ago when it claimed that Trump had pressurized Georgia election officials to find votes for him so that he could win the crucial state, which he lost by just 11,700 votes. The recent Washington Post fiasco comes as another major media hit job being exposed against Trump for what it is always comprised of: a bunch of lies. Now that the mainstream media has its blue-eyed old man in the Oval Office and is content seeing the reins of power once again in the hands of the radical left lobby, the likes of Washington Post have suddenly realized that they must rectify their mistakes without apologizing for them, of course. On Thursday, March 11, the Washington Post updated its story from 2 months ago, in which it had falsely claimed that Donald Trump had asked the state's top election investigator, Frances Watson, to find the fraud and that she could be a national hero if she did so. Washington Post accused the former US president of meddling with election results and coercing investigation officials into somehow making him win the state. The false story by Washington Post was soon picked up by a whole lot of liberal media, who went berserk, reporting a lie and slandering a president for no fault of his. Recently, however, the Wall Street Journal got hold of the 6-minute conversation which took place between former President Trump and Ms. Watson, who Washington Post and American mainstream media claimed was being pressurized by the White House to benefit the then president. Nowhere in the conversation, however, did Trump ask Ms. Watson to find the fraud and that she would be a national hero if she did. Essentially, the Washington Post spread fake news and has still not apologized for doing the same. The far-left publication, however, has tried to lessen the embarrassment caused to it due to the abject lack of journalistic ethics in the organization as a whole. Washington Post has now taken to pinning the entire blame on an anonymous source. In a correction added to the original story, the publication has said, 2 months after publication of this story, the Georgia Secretary of State released an audio recording of President Donald Trump's December phone call with the state's top elections investigator. The recording revealed that the Post misquoted Trump's comments on the call based on an information provided by a source. It added, Trump did not tell the investigator to find the fraud or she would be a national hero if she did so. Instead, Trump urged the investigator to scrutinize ballots in the Fulton County, asserting she would find dishonesty there. He also told her that she had the most important job in the country right now. Guess what was missing from the correction though? An apology by the publication for brazenly spreading fake news. Former President Trump, while slamming Washington Post for misquoting him and inventing phrases he never actually used with the Georgia chief election investigator, said establishment media errors, omissions, mistakes, and outright lies always slant one way, against me and Republicans. In a statement on Monday, the former president also thanked the Post for correcting the piece while also calling reporting about his documented efforts to influence the Georgia election results, which were accurately caught on tape, the Georgia witch hunt, and a hoax. Interestingly, the fake news hit job by the Washington Post had come at a time when former President Trump was beginning to make sense to a lot of Americans with his election discrepancy rhetoric. 2 months ago, just when American patriots started realizing that presidential polls were not immune to discrepancies, the Washington Post came up with a fake and manufactured story of President Trump telling an election official to find the fraud in Georgia. For this shamelessly fallacious misadventure, Donald Trump and his team must make it a point to sue the publication, so as to ensure that the mainstream media does not try its luck another time around with conservative leaders.